Let me start with a confession. I own an Apple Watch, and I don't really work out. I don't mind daily rings, I don't do fitness tracking, wala sa mga yon. At yung Apple Watch na gamit ko, it's an Apple Watch Series 3, the model that came out 8 years ago. So the question I want to explore is a simple one. Is the Apple Watch actually a necessary gadget? And more importantly, is it worth the money for you? I'm Ian and I own an Apple Watch Series 3 and it's 2026. So let me get this out of the way first. I'm not using the Apple Watch the right way, at least according to Apple's marketing. I mainly use it for 3 reasons. Number 1, notifications. Number 2, syempre kapag may tumatawag, I would find out who it is. And number 3, pag check ng time, because it's an Apple Watch. Well, minsan I use it for other things, like as a remote shutter for my iPhone camera, for example. Pero that's basically it. I don't rely on it for workouts or running. I don't do health metrics. And I definitely don't feel the pressure to upgrade every year. So this perspective isn't coming from a power user. It's coming from someone who treats the Apple Watch as a convenience accessory, not a lifestyle device. Now let me state the obvious. The Apple Watch Series 3 is old. Like really old in tech years. As of now, more than 8 years na since it first launched. And the age absolutely shows. Yung battery life niya ang kanyang biggest issue. To its credit, the first time I used it, umaabot pa siya ng isang buong araw of use, or even more. Ngayon, medyo maswerte na ako kung mapapaabot ko siya hanggang gabi without having to charge it. And if I forget to charge it, well, I have to put it to power reserve at least, so that it will still survive the rest of the day. Well, I can still tell the time with a quick glance of my iPhone, pero syempre added movement na yon instead of just a quick flick of the wrist. And then there's software support. The Series 3 no longer gets the latest watchOS updates, which means wala nang bagong features, mabagal na siya, and the apps either lag or straight up don't work or are not being supported. Even syncing with my iPhone sometimes feels like the watch is just barely keeping up. And yet, despite all of that, I'm still using it, which I think says something. So here's the honest truth. The Apple Watch is not necessary. Your iPhone already does everything that the watch does, and even more. But what the Apple Watch is it's convenient. For me, that convenience is glancing at my wrist instead of having to pull out my phone, knowing if something is urgent or ignorable, and feeling less tethered to my phone screen. But is that worth the cost of entry? Especially when new Apple Watches cost so much. That's where the value question gets very personal. For us Filipinos, the Apple Watch has become somewhat of a status symbol for most of us. I understand that. Now, from that angle, I would understand if someone would invest in one, especially the latest version. Although honestly, all Apple Watch generations look the same at this point. Kakamukha na lang sila lahat. Hindi halata if you get the latest one, except of course for the Ultra versions, which look a little different. Dito sa Pilipinas, some of the functions offered by the Apple Watch are irrelevant or simply unavailable. Apple Pay is one of them. Dito sa Pilipinas, mas accustomed tayong gumamit ng GCash sa mga phones natin. As of early 2026, the time of the creation of this video, Apple Pay, or the convenience of bumping your watch to pay, is simply not a luxury we enjoy. And I heard that at some point within the year, it will be available, but I'm not really looking forward to that, honestly. And I'm not sure if there's anyone in our country who has been rescued by a distress call made from their Apple Watch. If ever may ganun kayong experience, let me know in the comments below. Emergency SOS, as far as I know, is not available in the Philippines. And only Globe supports cellular versions of the Apple Watch. So, ayun, marami talagang limitations when it comes to features. So let's try to analyze. If you're someone who works out regularly, cares about health tracking, wants the latest features, and loves the prestige, the new Apple Watch can be a solid investment. But if you're more like me, someone who just wants notifications, basic communication, and added access, and some nice nylon straps, you really have to ask yourself, is the convenience worth the price? Would that money be better spent elsewhere? Or would a cheaper smartwatch, or no smartwatch at all, significantly diminish my way of living? Now, I have another confession. I bought this Apple Watch used, and for a really good deal, I might say. And I have used this watch for a good couple of years now. The original owner has already squeezed out a significant portion of its value, but even then, it still holds up. However, buying new today for 16,000, 26,000, 55,000 pesos, or even more, that's a tougher sell. So, is the Apple Watch necessary? No. But it can be useful, depending on who you are and how you live. If you're considering getting one, don't ask, what does the Apple Watch do? Instead, ask, what do I actually need from it? Because an 8-year-old Apple Watch that still mostly works has taught me this. The best gadget isn't the newest one. It's the one that actually fits your life. Let me know in the comments, do you use an Apple Watch? And do you actually need it? Please subscribe to see more of my experiences with tech and other stuff. And don't forget to like this video. See you around.